Chapter 5. The Development. Cassie Williams' final day would be a Thursday, during her morning jog through Linley Park. At 6 a.m. sharp, she ran past the lake and down towards the woodland. She stopped to tighten her ponytail and to check the time on her mobile. She got a glimpse of herself in the reflection of her mobile. She instantly switched to the camera to get a better look. To her horror, her waterproof mascara had smudged under her eyes. People never understood why she wore makeup to go running. She turned the corner ready to exit the park and ahead onto the main road, when someone stepped out from behind the bushes, dressed in sportswear and a baseball cap that covered their eyebrows, making it difficult to see their eyes. They approached her and asked if she would like to buy some perfume. They put a bottle to her nose. Cassie tried not to take in the strong fragrance, but she was already feeling lightheaded. Her knees started to buckle. The killer put their arm around her waist. "It's okay, I've got you." "What you doing?" Cassie slurred. "Hush now, don't worry, I will take good care of you." Cassie kept tripping over her feet as they walked through the park. The killer knew this could be a risky move, but lucky for them, apart from a couple of drunks slumped on a bench, there was no one else about. As they approached the Range Rover that was parked just outside the gates of the park, Cassie's head started to spin. The killer threw her to the floor as she hit the ground. She started to be sick. The killer stroked her hair. "Yes, love, I'm glad you have been sick here and not in my car." Cassie was starting to feel weaker. She let out a groan as her face hit the ground. The killer pulled her up by her ponytail and whispered, "Yes, I would have to kill you if you did." The killer couldn't help but let out a dirty laugh. They opened the car door. "Come on, you can crawl in. Easy does it." Cassie did as she was instructed. The last time she felt this dizzy was after drinking too many shots on her 21st birthday. It all felt like a hazy dream. She hoped that she would soon find herself waking up in her own bed. This killer was starting to panic. They thought she would have passed out by now. They had a 10-minute drive ahead of them, and the last thing they wanted was for to start regaining consciousness. They got a cloth from the glove box that they used to wipe the car windows and sprayed the perfume on it. They held the cloth over Cassie's mouth and nose. She put up a weak fight against them. After a few seconds, she was passed out on the back seat. The killer drove nervously for the whole drive, constantly checking in their rearview mirror for any movement from Cassie. From time to time, they almost lost grip of the steering wheel. The palms of their hands had sweated so much. As they pulled up to the place where Cassie's life would come to an end, they pulled out a folded-up piece of paper out of the glove box, carefully opened up the paper where several names lay written in blue biro. They put a tick against Cassie. "Strike one down," they smiled. This would be their first killing, and they would have to get used to it. They dreamed of a better life, however. There were obstacles in the way in the shape of people who seemed to be determined to put roadblocks in the way and destroy their happiness. The killer was desperate to achieve their goals. They felt the only way to achieve this was to bring down the people who stood in their way, making sure they would never get back up. They opened up the building and dragged Cassie in. They laid her on the cold concrete floor next to a dirty metal bucket. They slapped her on the face to wake her. They wanted her to be semi-conscious as she met her death. "Wakey, wakey, Cassie! Why are you doing this?" Cassie struggled to speak. Her breathing was starting to get shallow. The killer leant over her. They were now white in anger. Through gritted teeth they spat, "Why am I doing this?" "I can't believe you have the nerve to even ask me that. People like you make me sick. Thinking you are untouchable, with your good looks and your fancy lifestyle, not giving a fuck about anyone else, as long as you are getting things handed to you on a plate. Makes me sick that women think they can get away with it. Well, it ends now. Within minutes the job was done." She hadn't put up a struggle as soon as it was over. The killer fell to the floor and started to hyperventilate. After a few minutes they calmed down. They walked over to Cassie, kicked her foot. There was no movement. They started to laugh uncontrollably, covering their mouth to muffle the noise. From their pocket they pulled out a magic eye bracelet and tied it around her wrist. Just something to keep the bad away. "See you tomorrow." They kissed her forehead and left.